I'm grateful to the Anurag
Sir,
University.
डॉक्टर
sir,
केशव,
your voice is
वॉइस
not
को थोड़ा,
coming.
हाँ, वॉइस को थोड़ा लाउड ये करो, इंक्रीज करो.
Now it's okay, sir.
Isko?
So I'm grateful to the university and the organizing committee to give me this opportunity to present my work.
Sir, voice, your voice, sir, slow.
Now it's okay, sir. Now it is okay. Now it is okay, sir. Sir, it is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, yes,
That's
okay, sir.
So before reaching out to the sensing applications of the the talk will be started to know about the impact of the defects in the graphene. So, as we know, the graphene was discovered in 2004, and by Game and Novoslav and no and was awarded by Nobel in 2010. And these are the different allotropes of carbon in form of graphene, in form of sheet, in form of ribbons, in form of nanotubes and fullerene. So different allotropes are obtained. These are the applications part. First of all, by focusing on all, we will discuss about the defects, and then after we will be correlated and reaching out to the line defect, and then after those will be correlated to the sensing applications. So we can see the different applications as a semiconductor, as we know that different parts of the devices are being used. High-speed transistor, RFIC sensors, radio frequency integrated circuits, and in the touch screen it is also used because it's a flexible display touch panel, and it has a property of transparent conductive oxide. Solar cells, battery that is used for energy purpose in composites or automobile or in air devices, uh, heat spreaders also like as an LED, uh, barriers like as the chemical sensors, and ink and paste are mostly preferred in printed electronics and as the storage and biomedical devices as a paste. These are the applications part of that one. So first of all, let's know, can defect change the electronic properties? This, my voice is now properly audible there, sir, and screen is shared properly. Now, may I
Yes, sir.
know, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, the title is not appearing. Where at the topmost. Okay, I will get an option. So please give me 1 minute. Okay. So we'll see the different kinds of defects. See this icon. I'm just shifting to this icon. Then we'll continue. Different defects are observed. Stonewall defects, mono vacancy is produced, die vacancy is produced, and pairs, I think pairs of heptagon, pentagon, 7 representing two. Heptagon means 7 sides are there here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the pentagon means this shape is a pentagon. So 3 pentagons and the heptagons are taken, and when observed and optimized, it is observed the stone wall defect is showing the is a greater stability than the remaining, which shows the formation energy 4.87 around. So it shows the high stability compared to the single, double, and the more than two pairs. So defects definitely impact, and which kind of defects are considered, that is also be considerable. So if defects are impact to the electronic properties, then let's see the transport properties, electronic transport properties. So you can see all the defects transmission curves are shown here. Similarly, as shown in the previous slide, all these belong to all structures. And, we can see that with the two valence, two vacancy graphene having more pronounced way. The transmission curves are showing little bit higher values, higher transmissions are showing, but around 0.0 representing to the Fermi level, there are no localized states are here. So means transmission is not zero here. If it is zero, then there will be localized states. So no localized states, but two vacancies are more pronounced. In the similar way, if a stone wall is showing the higher stability, so let's see the other carrying properties also. So local current, the pristine graphene is taken and stone wall defect is produced here, and then local current is obtained, then it is passed throughout the material. Here, the local current is localized here, just is passing around to the defect only. And the wave functions in the pristine are distributed equally through all the material. But here the wave function representing this charge density, help of max form. If we have wave function, then the charge density and probability density can be known. So these are the charge distribution having the peculiar property to other belonging applications and functionalities. So here the stone around to the stone wall defect, the charge density of wave functions are localized here, not spreading. So it means defect can impact to the local current. See, local current is not spread in the compared to the pristine, and that also justified. Why? What the reason behind to localized currents? The reason is that the charge density is localized because of. So far, we have discussed the points. These are the points belonging to the theoretical work, but can experimentally or can be observed. Yes, these are the defects. Different defects are shown here. We can see in the figure. See figure C, figure F, or also STM images are shown here. So STM images can also be obtained via theoretical analysis with the help of a software capital W, capital S, small x, and capital S. So WSXS with the software. If we have the raw files we can draw the STM images of any structure. So we can also see the defects experimentally obtained here. These are the line defects. These are also be observed via experiment. It shows the line defect, and this is comprised of a pair of pentagon and octagon. And since that this defect is uh, initiated from one end to the and finished or completed till to the corner side also. So because of it is known as a line defect, and topological also known as because the side and the surrounding structure is not impacted with the help in the presence of this one. This type of line defect also works as a metallic wire is embedded between the two sides, like it appears. The same is here. Yes, these heptagons are here, and it shows the bond lengths and angles experimentally. So theoretically can also be analyzed as well as verified via experimentally. So how these defects can be, this kind of line defects can be produced? It is also observed that compared to the single pairs or vacancies, that this kind of line defects have the more applicability compared to the individual defects. So how it can be produced experimentally? First of all, with a pin tip, a hole is produced, and by applying the current around 10 power in the order of 10 power 10, a joule heating is produced around and the temperature is produced around 1300 Kelvin at the when current of this amount is applied. Then when that this hole is passes, okay, then a pentagon is produced, and that pentagon is seeding through the material, and by removing an individual carbon while passing from one end to other end, this kind of pairs are produced. So experimentally, for that one, this such an amount of current density is required. That will automatically produced a joule effect, joule heating effect. And when that is passed, this kind of line defects can be produced experimentally. So if Now, we have seen and compared different kind of defects. Now we'll see to move towards the sensing ability. So let's get absorbed NO molecule with a graphene sheet without any defect. Here, a defect with boron is actually replaced by a carbon, nitrogen is replaced by a carbon, and kept nearby. And then after sorry, here only a carbon is replaced by boron and the carbon is replaced by nitrogen, and here a single vacancy defect is produced. So without doping, with B and N doping, and with vacancy, if nitrogen get absorbed, first of all it is kept just around or above 2.5 angstrom, and then after it is optimized, then it automatically adjusts after optimization, and a particular atom will be adsorbed according to its feasibility. So then it is observed that with NO, we can see with defect has higher adsorption energy, minus 3.04 energy. And charge sharing is also higher. This is a Badr charge, minus 0.29. So it shows the charge sharing ability. So compared to the others, the higher charge is also being absorbed. Or as well as the bond length is smaller. So bond length is smaller and charge sharing is also having higher concentration than the remaining device base systems. So we concluded that defect can impact sensing ability also. Instead of even better than the doping, better than doping also. So defect. If another molecule, NO2 get absorbed, then it is also observed that NO2 with defect sheet, its absorption energy is higher, as well as the Badr charge is higher, bond length is smaller. To get this outcome, and now next we proceeded. So here a line defect is considered. This is called a line defect. And OP, octagonal, pentagonal. Octa means 8 sides in a ring. 8 sides in a ring are here, okay? And pentagon means 5 sides. So here a pair of pentagon and one octagon are spreaded and is formed a line defect. So this is a transport setup of that one. So initially in the talk, the previously work done just being shown or being discussed, and later on to come out which one is the best option, and then after the discussion will be our outcomes will be discussed. So far I'm just discussing the previously work done. So similarly, if instead of octagon, if heptagon is taken, heptagon means 7 sides in a ring. So this kind of line defect, 7. So in the next slides, I will just say heptagon as 7 and pentagon 5. So 7, 5 and octagon 8 and pentagon 5. So 8, 5 like. So let's see if two types of line defects are produced, which one gives a better result. The transmission curves are obtained. So the yellow one showing the 5, 8 and blue one 7, 5. So we can see at the 0 Fermi level, there is no transmission here. Means it shows there is no transmission. It shows the semiconducting nature. But talking about the OP, yellow curve, here 2 channels are here. Channels means gives a additional path for electronic transport. So here at 0 energy level, there is no channels for 5, 7, but here it shows a metallic nature, 5, 8. So can defects or current passing through such type of devices can be controlled? Then this figure is saying that yes, we can control. Like if a bias voltage is applied around 0 point, that gives a 0.0 electron volt around energy, then it is we can see that at current is passing. So we can see the current is passing, okay, spreading equally. When a bias volt minus 0.3 or plus 0.3 is applied of the same material. Of the same material means 8,5. 8,5, a graphene with with a pentagon and octagon line defect. Okay, this one. So in all the cases of applying bias, the current is passing. At zero, higher current is passing. At at negative biasing, the current is passing only through a line defect. Similarly, at positive, the current is passing, but on the right side, it shows a less intensity. So less amount of current is passed when forward bias is given. Now talking about the 7,5, 7, a pair of 5, a line defect, this one. Then we can see when a zero bias, at zero biasing, no current is passing. Okay, since it is a semiconductor, so particular cut-in voltage is required, and then afterwards it can respond properly. So, but when negative and at forward biasing, the current is passing, but at negative, no current is passing via line defect. Here, at vice versa is obtained in the forward bias, only current passing through line defect. We can also see the projected density of states. I think the participants, it's a kind appeal to all of you. So please focus on the many of the figures. Will be, I think, in the coming hands-on sessions will be, uh, I think, get learned, or you will practice, I think, and approach, and different experts will instruct you, and will that those will be taught to you. So I am also focusing on the few basic parts also. So it shows a projected density of states. You can see. So G shows the pristine one. W shows the carbon. Carbon means only carbon. Okay. Contribution of density of states of carbon with vacancy. So it shows the yellow one shows the total. So this one 8,5. 8,5 means above one. Graphene with penta and octagonal line defect. So there is no at the 0, 0 representative to Fermi energy. There is no localized state, but when about the 7,5 localized states are here, and we can see the contribution of the carbon atoms, as well as the blue color line is showing the total. It is also known as the density of states, but here as a P dash is shown. When transmission curves are obtained, when since in the previous one OP is giving a best response, hence our gas molecule get absorbed in the previous work, NO2. So that one, and with pristine one, and the yellow represented the pristine one, when NO2 get absorbed, and the transmission curve is showing is just obtained, or just shifted downwards. So providing the channels are reduced. So if the transmission curve is reduced, means resistance is increases. So resistance is increased, then conductance reduced. Then conductance, if reduced, the sensitivity will be increased. So hence the sensitivity. We can see the here when NO2 get absorbed, black curve. So in the around to 1 electron volt, or nearby, or in between 0 and 1 electron volt, we can see the around approximately zero transmission. So highest resistance. So highest resistance is because of the low highest resistance, hence because of low transmission and low conductance, but sensitivity. We can see the sensitivity around 0.5. We have higher sensitivity is obtained. So when gas molecule, this result is showing that when gas molecules get absorbed, then if resistance reduce in the resistance is observed, then we have the best result. If there is no change in the resistance, means that is not absorbed. So that cannot be sensed. That shows that. The same is here, charge distribution. When get absorbed, the charge distribution is showing this one, and it shows the projected density of states as a similar manner. So NO2 is not contributing. Density of states of NO2 molecule is not contributing. Localized states are produced. See, we can see around to the zero projected density of states are lower, but the total one, the yellow curve, is represented to the total one. Here, the gap is obtained. In other words, actually, to reach out a conclusion, whether it is a conductor or semiconductor, we have to focus on the Fermi level only. Around to Fermi level, which kind of density of states are observed? Here, the total one. is not, we can see a particular gap is here with the yellow curve, the horizontal axis, means there is no gap. So it's a metallic mixture. So it shows the best sensitivity to NO2 molecule. Similarly, these line defects are just kept, were kept, okay, just around to a, a, a nanopore. A nanopore its dimension is taken around a 12 angstrom. And line defects are kept both sides. And when nucleotides are just faster, then it is observed that C the high sensitivity than remaining the nucleosides. Okay? So biomolecules can also be sensed with the help of the graphene or as well as pronounced way if we followed or approached the line defects. Even defects will also give a best result in the in sensing mechanism. Here, when nucleotides, uh, uh, the talk is going on properly, sir. The voice and screen is okay. Dear sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So here, when nucleotides just passed via nanopore, they get absorbed or just move toward the corner side, and blue and we can see the red colors are showing the charge distribution to the carbon atoms. Actually, hydrogenated. These carbons are hydrogenated. So we can do that kind of analysis also. So biomolecules can also be sensed. So these nucleotides are the basic building blocks of DNA and RNA. Let's move towards our findings. Sensitivity can be calculated with this one. It shows the resistance without the gas, absorption of gas. RG shows in the presence of gas. It's the resistance, and tau representing to the recovery time. In our work, we represented it as a recovery time, but it is in the previously translocation time as represented as. So 1M, 1.8 represents the frequency. Its value is around 10 power 12. In visible case, in ultraviolet case, its value 1 by A is around 10 power 14. EB represented the binding energy. So if you have the binding energy, okay, and to see the to know the analysis in the visible or ultraviolet, and accordingly by keeping this value, the recovery time can be calculated. So here, the resistance is observed here. If resistance we have, then directly with the help of the resistance, sensitivity can also be obtained. But in our work, conductance is obtained, and then afterwards, sensitivity was calculated. If B is doped in the line defect, we preferred OP. OP means 5, 5, 5, and 8. A pair of pentagons and octagon, a line defect. And then boron is one of the carbon is replaced by boron. And then see uh, at which location, at which lattice site boron must be doped to give the uh, higher stability. First of all, we will be seeing. And these are the points for simulation protocol. I think yesterday in the previous I had shown different inputs, previous or the just day before yesterday. The formation of FDF you have been discussed regarding all, I think. So here K points are taken 3, 1, 6. Here for a unit cell, there were 34 atoms. The force between the atoms was kept around 0.001. It is too smaller, but we must approach 0.01, not 0.001. It's okay. It gives best one, but it takes many computational hours if we kept this one. So 0.01 is okay. So we considered a unit cell, this one, the highlighted unit cell, 34 atoms. Boron is doped at 6 lattice sites. And it is observed that at lattice site 2, it gives the highest, its stability is higher. And then remaining lattice sites, the energy difference is showing here compared to this one. Okay, it shows a higher stability, particular energy, but its own energy, it is subtracted by its own energy. So it is showing as a reference 1, 0. Its energy is expressed as a 0. And at this point, lowest energy is obtained, this energy, this amount of difference of energy at other lattice sites are obtained. But the highest stability at 2 with formation. You can see 0.035 formation with formation energy. Here 5, 6 have the mirror, I think mirror symmetry 5, 6 and 2, 4. There are mirror symmetry. Means the same kind, approximate equal energy is obtained. So hence 2 is shown there, 4 is not shown here, 5 is given here, 6 is not shown here because approximately same nature as was obtained. And this is the equation for formation energy. It must be smaller together with a higher stable system. So here in this during the optimization, vacuum is kept along the y-axis, and the system. This one is expanded along z-axis. This curve axis representing, and the height is kept along x-axis. It shows the band structure as well as the projected density of shade. We can see the black curves are representing to the pristine one without boron, without doping of boron. So you can see at the Fermi level. Fermi level is interacting at the Fermi line. This line drawn at Fermi level is interacting to the at two locations. Okay, at 2 points of black curve. So means there are two channels at Fermi level. There will be two channels, means two paths will be available for transmission. But when boron is doped, this is also known as the Dirac cone. So its significance is that it helps supports in the sharp rise in the charge transport. But here this interaction, this Dirac cone is displaced here, and the whole structure is shifted upward. So it shows the P type of nature. If the structure is just displaced downward, that will show an N type of nature, N type of semiconductor nature. Here P type of nature is showing here. So when we discuss about the contribution made by boron, we can see boron is approximately is boron has a hybridization with the C1 and C3 atom. C1 and C3 are here. Two was kept here. C1 and C3, and nearby atoms, uh, its orbitals are overlapping here. You can see. So it supports the transmission. But here around 1.5, we have a peak. It gives a localized states, means concentrated states. So if current is passed, there will be scattering and no transmission is obtained. So that can be seen here, around to 1.5 with around 1.5 with red color. See, there is no transmission. So because of the boron's localized states, there is no transmission here. Okay. And when we talk about the without B doped, in both the cases, here at the Fermi level, black curve crossing at is intersecting at 2 points with the black curves, and there are two channels at Fermi. We can see the two channels are here, and with red one only single channel is here. So is intersecting at one location here only. Yellow curve means band curve is intersecting to Fermi level, line drawn at only one position. Hence there is one channel. So one channel is here. Okay, channel is reduced when boron is doped at Fermi level. Okay, and if if forward biasing is applied, like at the minus biasing, we can see if we apply the vertical lines are showing if this kind of setup is kept where it shows the scattering region. There are 306 atoms, and the same unit cell is repeated 3 times, kept as an electrode. The same electrode, 102 atoms kept on the right side. In the scattering region, 9 times a unit cell is repeated, and the total atoms are 306. So when current is passed, okay, so this kind of transmission, oh sorry, and this kind of transmission curves are obtained. But when if you willing to use it as a like by including as a biasing, if you're willing to have work as a device, then as we know that in the FAT and MOSFETs with proper biasing, providing biasing, we can get a pronounced value outputs. So here, if we apply the forward negative biasing here, so minus 1.75. So if current is passed or not, see we have the three channels here when and wave functions are distributed properly, and and occupy the upper section. And when in the forward bias, at zero, uh, occupies the lower section. Current will pass via lower section, not to the up one. But when the forward bias is applied, wave functions are not distributed throughout the material. Hence, current is not passed here because of this is the reason why current is not passed after doping the B. So it shows the reason. Here you can see one channel. So transmission is here. Double channel, higher current is passed. So a larger charge is contributing. And this work was published in the last year. And these figures are STM images, show the structures, which type of structure actually we consider. It is obtained with the help of, as I said, WSXM software with the help of EIG file. If you have EIG, after optimization, we have EIG file. And we have to upload that one and then automatically. And 3 angstrom representing to the tip, via when the current, according to the experimental setup, a tip it, I think height of tip, okay, from the base. When gas molecules get absorbed, gas molecules at 5 locations get absorbed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then and observe that to each location it shows the highest lowest energy. So all approximately shows the lowest energy at zero point 0.4. But an atom is kept at 0.4, just above the 4 one, as here is shown, just above the carbon. But after optimization, that the interacting atom or the molecule uh, itself took its own position, may be attracted toward the other molecule also. Hence, it is not actually after optimization, it is not located at the 0.4. The figures are showing this. So these are the equilibrium positions. So it shows that when NO or get absorbed, the distance is 2.04 angstrom. So the gap between the molecule and this one and the device is smaller than when other gas molecule when get absorbed. So the charge density is showing that the blue curve or showing that the charge is actually get absorbed, is attracted to the device. So it shows the positive charge. So higher positive charge around the molecule means higher charge get absorbed from the NS3 as well as NO, higher charge. But here the positive representing to the negative, so molecule get absorbed the charge from the base. So it's also important for a sensing applications. A higher charge must be distributed, whether molecule get absorbed or the base get absorbed. So we obtained that with NO in the lower table. We can see NO with border charge, positive charge here, positive charge representing to the electrons get absorbed from the molecule toward the base. Similarly, with NS3 and both having the binding energies, we can see higher, shows the higher stability. NO having higher stability. So its absorption energy will be higher. And the distance is also shown here. So all are located at get absorbed or get the lowest energy and proper absorption at location 4. The transmission curve, the black one, which was overlapped with the CO and CO2. Here, CO2 having the transmission curves not too much or just overlapped with the pristine one. So there is no change when CO and CO2 get absorbed. There is no change. But when NO and NS3 get absorbed, we can see the change in the curves. So they are displaced toward the downwards. And the green color, we can see around around zero, green colored curve, the difference we can see, discrimination, as well as around 1, you can see the discrimination. So if you see about the green color, so it shows the highest resistance compared to red. So green showing the uh, with NO, base molecule with NO, a red one representing to NS3 adsorbed system. So NO having high resistance. So low conductivity, conductance. In reciprocal or resistance, conductance. So low conductance, then if you see here, the conductance is smaller, GI representing to the uh, conductance in the presence of gas, G naught in the absence of gas. If GI is smaller, okay, then overall sensitivity will be larger. So we can see here when when as a device it is considered, then at this biasing is applied around this one point, around 17, I think 0 around those captured term, minus 0.17 electron volt. Negative biasing is given. So around this one, these points are considered. Okay, these points. Then sensitivity 37% with NO and with NS3 14. With positive biasing at 0.73, 50% sensing is obtained with NO, 16% with NS3. So when boron is doped with a OP line defect, so higher sensitivity is obtained with NO gas molecules. So NO, the resistance is shown like this here. So with the help of this one, in the previous slides, the sensitivity was shown and calculation can be obtained with the help of resistance directly. Here the conductance are kept. The binding energies are shown here when gas molecule gets absorbed with NO, showing the higher stability, and substituting here when the visible and ultraviolet case are considered and recovery time is calculated, then at different temperature values, T represented to the temperature, kV Boltzmann constant. So these are the recovery time. But you can see with NS3 in the visible 300 Kelvin, around 27 degrees centigrade at room temperature. NS3 responding very well in the visible case, 1.9 in around 19 seconds. Okay, means after absorbing, this molecule took 19 seconds to dissolve. Okay, get dissolved. So similarly, NO in the visible giving the 10 power 4 order, so very high. So it must not be considered. So in the ultraviolet, it's around, you can see, in the order of 2, 10 power 2. So NO gives the best results in the ultraviolet and visible. The same thing. Sir, how many minutes? How many minutes will you given to me further?
15
10
minutes. 15 minutes.
Oh, further. Oh, thank you, sir. So that was so far we have discussed when B doped, which kind of impact can be observed or outcomes are obtained when 4 gas molecules were considered, CO, CO2, NO, and NO3. Let's see if N is doped instead of B, which kind of impact can be observed. So we got that this system responded very well to the NO2. Here NO2 is also considered. So at different in the same manner, this is the next work. In the same manner, 6 locations, little size are considered. But here at fifth position, it shows the higher stability. In the boron case, second lattice site was having the higher stability. It shows the mirror image just at the 3 set. This is the unit cell, and 3 unit cells are taken here. And this analysis also was during the communication for publication. One of the reviewer raised that in the previous work, as you have considered, a boron was doped in the throughout a line defect. You can see at throughout at second positions of each a set of a pair of pentagon octagon. Many borons were okay, doped. But when, according to reviewer, when single boron is adsorbed, which kind of impact can be observed? So hence we also analyze in this work a single nitrogen at the center was also kept, not throughout the line defect. So 5 gives a high stability, and it shows that this is this equation formation energy is calculated. When the band and cross density of total dose is taken here, LDG means line defective graphene. NLDG means n-doped line defective graphene. So as seen in the previous work, the same curves, black curves representing to the same line defect. Okay? But here yellow curve just pushed downward. In the previous one was pushed upside. So downward means N type of nature. So it shows the N type of semiconductor. And how many times, if you draw a horizontal line, depending on the number of times of intersection, it gives the channels. But here, the density of states are showing the highest peaks around Fermi level. These peaks are presenting to these straight lines. Straight lines means many points are there. So these are the straight line in the band structure representing to the higher density. So it shows the peaks represented to the higher density here. Okay, these curves. And the below one is showing the K path to determine the band diagram. So we have to, this will also be the part of the coming hands-on sessions. So to draw the band structure, which type of K path must be taken to zeta to Z, this direction, along Z, zeta to Z, Z to S to X, and X to zeta again. So these are the points are taken. So zeta to Z is uh, prominent to discuss about the uh, applicability of the device. Why? Since it is around the Fermi level. Okay. So this one is very peculiar, having peculiar nature. So just the outcomes are surrounded to this one. And we can see the intersection here, the curves. Uh, uh, a Dirac cone is not split here, just shifted down. Here, further, a single nitrogen is also doped, and nitrogen is doped throughout the line defect and without nitrogen. So this is the transport setup. So if you drawn transmission curves, we can see black curves representing to the pristine, and red representing to the n-doped throughout the line defect, and green representing a single nitrogen for single. This one, second one, represent to the green curve. So we can see around to 0. Here the channels are increased. 3 channels are obtained when nitrogen is doped. So you can see with the nitrogen here, when a horizontal line is drawn here, 2 times will be intersected here, 1 time here, zeta to Z direction. 3 times intersecting, hence 3 channels are obtained here at Fermi level. So wherever in the whole transmission curve, wherever we willing to know the number of channels, so we have to just draw horizontal line at that energy value. Where energy, at what energy value? Here, horizontally. We have to see the energy value, and then according to that energy, we have to draw a horizontal line and have to check how many times the band curves are intersecting. The number of channels are higher, means higher transport paths will be available for electron transmission. So that is the best one. But we focused around the Fermi level. The Fermi level, we see one channel is increased, and when single nitrogen is doped, then you can see the curve is just shifted downward. It shows the phanoresonance. Phanoresonance means it was given phano as the name of scientist. It was explained in the year of 1961. Shows the localized states. When N is kept, that produced a localized states that scattered the coming electrons because of the transmission path is reduced here. The same, the reason behind it is obtained. When LDG, why these kind of transmissions are obtained? We can see LDG. These are the wave functions for first channel and second channel. Since there are only 2 channels, okay, so first channel, this kind of distribution is means density is higher. For second channel, density is a little bit reduced. So reason behind when only single N is doped, then a phanoresonance is obtained means current is reduced. So this is the figure C and D represented to the localized wave functions, means localized states. So current may not pass throughout. So it reduces the path for a particular instance. Similarly, higher density is here with N doped. With, there are 3 channels. Second channel, with the second channel, the same kind of obtained like as figure E. So with third channel, the wave functions are around to the line defect. So the reason behind of this transmission somewhere is reduced can be analyzed with the help of wave functions. Again, gas molecule gets absorbed different locations here, and 5 CO, CO2, NO, NS3, and NO2 is included here. And got that NO2 having the lower the bond length. smaller, 1.95 angstrom. We can see in the table binding energy with NO2 minus 0.9, and with NO it's a little bit reduced, 0.6, and the bond length is smaller with at NO2. The bother charge is higher with NO2. So the sensing ability will be higher, must be higher for NO2. Let's see the sensing ability. It shows the charge distribution. The pink showing that the charge absorption, charge attraction, okay, gaining. Here the words is shown as accumulation. Gaining means accumulation, and depletion is shown here. So pink showing the uh, usually accumulation when the gas molecule gets absorbed, and the positive is showing the depletion. Depletion means sorry, gaining negative charge, okay, depletion showing the positive charge. So yellow positive charge, positive charge, okay. So we can see with NO2 and NO. So ac- depletion is depletion, accumulation, both are obtained here, we can see. But the yellow one, depletion is higher. Depletion, yellow is higher than the purple. So means gas molecule absorbing the electrons from the device. Here also, yellow concentration is higher than the others. NS, when gas molecule gets absorbed at different locations with pristine, with single N doped, as well as N doped at different locations, and binding energy is obtained, and got that with NO. As NO is giving the more, NO and NO2 are showing the more stability with N doped in the similar manner, with pristine, P showing the pristine. In the similar manner, lowest or highest binding energy are showing with the same gas molecules. And when single nitrogen is doped, like as figure 2, the same gas molecule giving the higher, okay, binding energy. So the same type of trend, as well as the, you can say the nature, are showing by the gas molecules in the absence of doping with single doping, as well as uh, and doping through a line defect. And this is under publication. The whole work of the second one, and doped, is under communication here. So we can see the transmission curves with all doped are shown here. We can see with NO2, black one is showing the NO2, and this yellow is showing the NO, and the remaining all are actually overlapped in the green, or just above or below the green curve. So they cannot be discriminated. Only NO, black, yellow are we can discriminate here. Why we can discriminate and others may not? Others are not absorbing properly because of they don't show the sensitivity. They don't show the sensitive nature. But the NO2 are producing the resistance for transmission are reduced. But here resistance is higher with a black curve. Black curve. So sensitivity will be higher with NO2. So if we apply at different voltages, at around to minus, around to 0, around to nearby 0. So we can see B, C, D. We have the sensitivity. At B, we have higher sensitivity with NO2. NO2. So you can see black curve is displaced highly toward the bottom. So resistance is high. Only NO2 can be sensed if we apply this biasing voltage. Means if the devices can be used as a sensor, and by applying this negative bias, NO2 can also be sensed. But when the potential is changed to nearby 0 electron volt, here only NO can be sensed. Its sensitivity is around 50%. Now, similarly, at HoP level, when 0, no biasing is applied, then both will be sensed, but NO2 around 37% and NO around 24%. So depending on the how much biasing voltage is applied, so the response, we will have that kind of response. This formula was followed. The same binding energy is also, as we have discussed, based on if you have binding energy, the recovery time can be calculated by following this one, similar as previous. So same manner. Here we can see the NO, low recovery time here. But NO is giving best response in the visible case and NO2 in the ultraviolet case. It just changed. In the previous one, NO was giving the best result in the ultraviolet. NS3 was invisible, but here NO is invisible. So far we have seen when B was doped in the line defect. So in the B doped, NO was sensed properly along with NS3. Remaining couldn't sensed. But when was doped, then NO2 and NO were sensed, not NS3 properly, and as well as CO and CO2. So when N and B both when doped, which kind of impact can be seen? This work is under actually we have optimized all the things and the work, the discussion is going on. So this work is under preparation. That's the third one. So when B and N both are doped, so we obtained B was kept at 2 and N was kept at 5. And throughout the line defect and other impacts are also analyzed. And in the coming time, next time, I'll give those outputs in my presentation also. But here, if you see, just I kept here just as a glimpse with NS3, the same thing here. NS3 and NO2. NS3 is also pronounced here, giving the response at this voltage. At this voltage means at 0.5, positive biasing edge, giving the response. And this is the phonoresonance is here. So NO3 can be sensed. And the previous one was not sensed. Okay. But here in the second one, below one, NO and NO2 both can be sensed. Somewhere, if you apply negative biasing, so NO, sensitivity of NO will be higher compared to this one, gray color, gray representing to NO2. But when forward bias is applied, so the sensitivity is reversed. So NO2 will be higher than NO. It will be discussed. And this work actually is comprised and involvement of our scientific group. Rodrigo sir, Pandey sir, and Wanderla sir are guiding to me, and Professor Deborah madam, and Fabio and Tadeo are collaborators. Tadeo now is in France, and this is a cluster which I am accessing, and ID and password was provided uh, provided by Rodrigo sir to me. Since 3 years, I am accessing this Dirac cluster. So without the proper guidance by Rodrigo sir, Ravin sir, Wanderla sir, it may not be possible, and without the collaboration of the remaining Deborah madam, Fabio, and Tadeo. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. Dear participants, we are open for questions. If you have any question. You can unmute yourself and you can ask questions.
Thank you very much, sir, for your illuminating lecture, sir. Sir, we have came to know various aspects of the material. Sir, regarding the transport properties charge density plot, how can we plot such kind of plot charge density or charge transfer, sir, using siesta row, sir, or other utility using Vesta or something like that?
Sir, kindly unmute yourself, sir. Keshav Rao, sir. Keshav Rao, sir. Unmute yourself.
Actually, my screen is shared, sir. Screen is shared.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Actually, we have to follow transistor. That is one of the part of SISTA. I think in hands-on session will be other things will get learned to you. I think transport. And when we have the output file with the help of XM Grace. XM Grace, that is the part will also be inform you in the coming hands-on session to draw the density of shape plots and 2D plots. So those the transport properties, transmission curves were drawn with the help of XM Grace. Okay,
Yes,
these
sir.
are drawn XM Grace, and the wave functions and charge density. Charge density. I mean to say this one. Actually, a script was prepared. The script was one of our collaborator, Brazilian collaborator. So
Okay,
with the
sir.
help of XSF file. XSF files means when we optimize the system, we have XV file. So we have to give a command XV to XSF,
Yes, sir. Okay,
XV
sir.
to XSF, or we have to draw XSF file. I think that will be also informed while drawing the charge density curve. Row to XSF, row to XSF. That
Yes.
is another
Yes,
process.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
here row to XSF I approached it. And XSF files of all means the pristine one, the gas molecule with gas and pristine were obtained, and those XSF files just kept, and after running that one, another XSF file was produced, and that actually with the help of that one, these curves are just drawn with the help of VMD. VMD. VMD is the best tool to draw curves. These are the curves. I'll drawn with the help of VMD. This one and this kind of curves are drawn with VMD. And when we get VMD, and to for further furnish, we have to use GIMP. GIMP that to means I think you yourself can also do just install GIMP and just open XSF file, and then by increasing the illumination and colors may be changed. And further thing, if you're willing to furnish further, like as you asked because of time, so I'm just mentioning you this one. If you're willing to draw this kind of figure, you have to use Google Draw. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. Any
Sir,
further question, please?
Sir,
Yes, please.
Sir, may I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please, welcome, please.
Sir, first of all, I thank you for this wonderful talk, sir,
It's my
related to
pleasure.
my work. And
My pleasure.
sir, I want to ask one question that
Related to your work, you're also working sensors.
no, sir, I have just initiated.
Okay.
I especially work on biomolecules, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I want to ask that how this pseudo potential that you have taken, is it a
Mhm.
GGA pseudo potential, that norm conserving
Yeah.
potential that you have
Yeah,
taken for your?
GGA was taken and van der Waals are taken because gas molecules need to get absorbed. So single without van der Waal, if you take, then interaction cannot be considered or may not have the best one. So whenever gas molecules are required to get absorbed, so van der Waals must be taken. And GGA is taken. GGA also considered.
And sir, regarding this norm concept, sir, all these pseudo potential are norm concept because we have got one pseudo potential library from Collins University.
Mhm.
So are the pseudo potential, because there are very rare one or two pseudo potential are available for Siesta.
No,
So
all may be obtained, but via website we obtained, uh, okay, conserved, but not van der Waals PSF files cannot be obtained. That we have to draw. So
okay,
you
sir.
obtain non-conserving, it's okay. Whatever is downloaded, they are non-conserving. But for van der Waal, consider you doped anything else, you analyze, you get absorbed anything, okay, not sensing purpose. Then those PSF files can be utilized. and all can be obtained via website. But for van der Waal, we have to draw.
Sir,
And
how to
those,
make those potential, sir?
I think,
Well,
yes, I think for that one, yesterday or in the coming lab, hands-on session, somebody, one of the expert have taken the hands-on session. Through atom that can be produced through atom software.
okay, sir.
Okay. Just see the few website and one of the Narendra, one of the who worked with us right now is working in US. Right now he's in a United Emirates, is doing PhD, and right now he's in US and in the lab of Pandesar's lab. He's spent 3-4 months there. He's how to produce PSF file. He created a video, and I think in the YouTube you can have with the help of Atom software. So to see that one, you can learn.
Okay, sir. I will see, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, welcome.
Sir, Dr. Batni wants to ask one question.
Yes,
Sir,
please.
sir, good morning, sir.
morning.
Your session is very good and it's a wonderful session.
My
And my
pleasure.
question is here, sir, the pores in graphene, how they are formed, the pores in graphene, and what is the relation between the pores and size, pore size and sensitivity and conductivity?
Absolutely. Sensitivity and conductivity. Here, conductance is taken.
Yeah,
So,
conductance.
we see this formula. If GI is smaller or get reduced, 1 minus GI upon G naught is there. If GI is reduced, S, capital S, will be enhanced. S will be increased. Yes or no? See here, GI, if GI was 0.5, okay? If GI, if GI was 0.5 and G naught is 1, okay? So 1 minus 0.5, we have 0.5. Okay, 0.5, capital S. But if GI is 0.2, then 1 minus 0.2 means we have 0.8. So if that means if GI is reduced, GI means conductance. Conductance means 1 by R. If conductance can be obtained with the, we are not prepared and experimental, because hence resistance cannot be obtained. As during for explanation point of view, just I said that conductance is reciprocal of R. But here, the conductance is obtained with this help of equation. 2e square upon h, quantum conductance, 2e square upon h is known as quantum conductance. And this transmission, this value is obtained with the help of how? If you're willing to just here, this one is taken like as here we considered minus 0.17, okay? Minus 0.17. Let's see what is the transmission. Minus 0.17 is here. The cursor is appeared there. The moving cursor is appeared.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
So
Yes.
by getting this value with that, so if we have this value, and correspondingly we have the intersection vertical here, and accordingly horizontally, what is the value of transmission? Can be obtained via vertical curve. And this transmission value by keeping here, see, mu means chemical potential. Chemical potential is nothing else, just this value. How much value is kept here? So maybe the negative biasing here, you can see 0.73 positive biasing is. So 0.73 means here, around this one. So accordingly, transmission value can be obtained, and though by substituting here, the conductance can be obtained in here, in our analysis. If it is prepared experimentally, then with the help of the, this multimeter, resistances can be noted here, and by reciprocal, GI can be kept. G naught means absence of the gas molecule. So sensitivity can be obtained. And one question, so two questions answer related to this one. One you asked, one.
How force are formed?
Sir, actually, the question is,
Three
please,
questions were there. Three
No, no,
were there, two answered.
the question was,
Four size,
these
four size,
how
four
these
size.
pores are produced in the graphene, or how they are affecting this pore size, the sensitivity and the conductivity of this graphene.
Yes. See,
How will you
if we
introduce
pro-
pores or
yes,
yes?
yes. Just producing the vacancies. So we don't just like see the single vacancy is produced. Single vacancy is produced means atom is reduced, removed from here. So we have to see, we have to create a particular
What
defect.
what is the mechanism? How they are? How can you create the pores in the graph?
Yes, sir, I'm telling you that this one, just click that one in the structure you obtained via VMD, via XCrystal, whatever software you follow to draw the crystal. Just click the atom and delete or remove.
No, theoretically it is okay, but practically when
Okay,
graphene
okay,
is there,
okay.
how can
Okay, with the help of the
practically?
point diff, as I said, experimentally, this one, as I said, see here, with the point dip, that can be produced. We have to see if the point dip is taken and that how much temperature is produced over there. That is also important. See here, experimentally it is shown that a hole is produced before producing the line defect experimentally, not theoretically. These figures are representing to the experimental work. This is also representing to the experimental work, not theoretical.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what point tip can be produced, but we have to analyze that if this temperature is given with point tip or current is passed through the point tip. When current is passed, its resistance is very high. So if high resistance is there, thermal Joule effect is produced. So that Joule effect, Joule effect produce the high temperature. High temperature automatically produce the defect. And how much heating may be produced, that is based on this current, this value. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
But this is need to be done many times. Okay. I prefer different research papers I know. But if you perform experimentally, then at different current values, how much size pore can be produced? Like in the next slide, this slide, I shown that around 12 angstrom pore size is produced. Here it shows that the size can be known after producing by getting the bond length from one into other end with the help of the XM grace, J mole. Okay, we can get the bond length. So that bond length shows the diameter of the pore. So the diameter is not to measure, but how to increase or reduce the diameter, that depends on the current passed through the sharp tip. Okay, I think you are experimentalist.
Understood, sir. Now,
Sir, one question. Can we study photocatalytic activities?
Photocatalytic activities like photo impact of light, I think, like as a photoelectric effect you are talking about, or solar cell kind of.
No, sir. Photocatalytic.
That separation
Okay.
of
So
hydrogen and water.
electrolytes are in the electrolytes when ions are separated, that kind of thing.
No, sir. Actually, one of our group, they are like experimentally, they are synthesizing nanoferrites. They are doping. So can we theoretically study doping effects and photocatalytic
Yeah, definitely.
activities also?
Definitely done. Yes.
Well,
Arsa is doing.
photocatalytic. Let me know how will you define the photocatalytic first, sir. Then I will give something else, please. I'm understanding in different manner, but you please tell me in which perspective photocatalytic is explained.
Sir, I think in presence of light.
So in the
Please.
In presence of light, it is able to degrade like catalyze dyes or dye molecules in water, like water purification. In presence of light, like photocatalytic effect, it shows to degrade these molecules. So these, they are like experimentally they are doping and they are studying, but we thought, okay, theoretically, let's study theoretically, then prepare in the lab, synthesize in the lab the same material.
Yeah, so you'll have to analyze the optical properties. So
Yes.
for optical properties, sister will also help you.
Hmm.
I think in the coming hands-on, I think Verma sir will, I think will take the, I think professor is also present there. Verma sir will also
Dr.
take those
Narendra,
classes.
Narendra is doing that optical property, that
Oh,
photocatalytic
okay.
sections are because that person is doing that
Hmm.
photocatalytic, and Harsha is also doing the same thing. So yeah, it's
Yes, sir.
yeah, that work
Yes,
is performed very good, and
yes, sir.
Professor
Because
Gunadkar,
one of
So
our
what,
group, they are
yeah,
experimentalists.
sir,
yeah.
mhm.
Now
What
we
happened
want to do it
actually?
theoretically also.
So what happened is that you'll have to analyze the, in the absence of doping, in the after doping, you'll have to analyze the, actually the optical properties will provide you band gap also, those the bands and DOS curves also, as well as reflectance, transmittance, optical conductivity, uh, and imaginary dielectric constant and dielectric constant, those are provided as an outcome. So there is need at which potential, at which voltage, sorry, at which when light is applied means you'll have to correlate with the wavelength. When this amount of energy or potential band gap is there means that amount of energy will be provided, then electron will start to will contribute. So that is need to be correlated with the wavelength. So at that particular wavelength, what is the uh, reflectance and conduct and to need to correlate with the conductance. And then you can explain properly, okay, by doping this one at this wavelength, this kind of dielectric constant is obtained, transmittance is obtained, and optical conductivity is obtained. And based on uh, the splitting of those molecules and the contribution may be analyzed with the help of the PDOS, DOS, as well as the charge distribution curves will also help, and transmission will also help. See how doping can impact if something is doped. Okay, optically is analyzed, okay, but previously, that is the one of the part of the work, optical. But previously, without applying the optical property, these properties may also require to be analyzed. Then those means if particular doping is supporting transmission and DOS curves, and will those doping is supporting to reflect transmittance, dielectric constant, and optical nature, then that is need to be correlated. Then there will be excellent papers. And I also did when I was working with Verma sir a few years back, one of the paper based on IN2O3. We did a work with indium IN2O3, and basically we calculated few optical properties also. But right now the advanced things are needed to be included there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think the
And sir,
doubt
yes,
might
sir,
have
let them
clarified.
go, and I request to and during the hands-on session when Verma sir will take the optical properties, please kindly optimize one of the smallest unit cell of the molecule on which your scholars are working. So all the molecules just before optimize all, and just by discussing Verma sir, and then optical also obtain in the same lab, and previous things also obtain, try to obtain till to that lab. Then by correlating means within the hands-on sessions, the best outcomes may be the best. One of the manuscript may also be prepared, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for this wonderful session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my kind pleasure.
If any other question is there, we'll discuss. Otherwise, we'll break for 10 minutes and then we'll come back again.
Sir, actually, one point I would like to add. Initially, I this during my PhD work, when Verma sir started to work on Sista at that moment, just around 2010, I think, around 10 or 11. Then I was not interested in this field right at that moment. But after 2012, I met with Pandey sir and then took interested. And then initiated, the work was initiated with Verma sir. But right now, my research group, as I mentioned in the present work, so working with them. And thank you, the team and you and as well as Verma sir, to give me this opportunity, kind interaction to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we'll, dear participants, we'll break for 10 minutes, then we'll come back again. Thank you, sir.
In the morning session, we have a very pretty talk by one of professor, and he explained each and everything here. So, but in this case, we have this one case study of zinc oxide. I will take zinc oxide, and then what is the main question is, what is the structure optimization? So the structure optimization is when you download the C file from material project, the atom inside the your geometry are not at the minimum energy configuration. So we are basically bringing them to the minimum energy configuration first. For that, what are the key factor that affecting the accuracy during this optimization? So basically, these are the two key factors. I mean, there are too many others too, but the two key factors are basis set and exchange correlation functional. So basis set basically describe the electron orbital, and while exchange correlation functional was explained by one professor yesterday in detail, and we approximate electron interaction in DFT, how the electrons are interacting in the DFT. So what is then basis set and how it impact the calculation? So basis set are basically mathematical functions, and that describe the electron orbital. So from daily life, I took an example with an image, with a high resolution image. So if your basis set is size is big, so you will get high resolution data, I mean results. If your I agree at that point that your calculation will be slow, but you will get good results. So it is always the war between the time, computational time, cost, and accuracy of results. So if you are using the minimum basis set, I mean like single zeta without polarization or single zeta with polarization. So basically your calculation will be fast, but not that accurate. So always always there is a, I mean, agreement. If your system is big, then you can use single zeta, but the result are not that much accurate, but you have to then explain because our system is big and we don't have the computational power. So that's why we take this single zeta or etc. So the second thing is the what is their effect on the structure optimization? So accuracy of geometry. So larger basis set that is triple zeta polarized. So basically give you better bond lengths and angles, while small zeta, for example, single zeta may distort your geometry. So you should keep that in mind. If you are using single zeta and your geometry is distorted a little bit, that is because of this single zeta, not because of CS star or any other parameters. So what about the computational cost? So double zeta and triple zeta, basically it's a trade-off between speed and precision. If you need speed, use smaller. If you need precision, use bigger basis set. So the second thing is what is the exchange correlation functional? Basically, this the already one professor explained that that is functional is basically a function which take a function while give you a number. So approximate electron interaction in DFT. Basically, this have two part. What is exchange and there is the correlation. Exchange basically is the repulsion due to Pauli exclusion principle, or and correlation actually calculate the forces between two electron due to Coulombic interaction. I mean the repulsion. So next is the common exchange correlation functional and their impact. So we are using either LDA, GGA, sometime hybrid. And LDA is fast and simple, but it underestimate the bond lengths. GGA balance widely used, but in some cases you need to modify it, just like they also underestimate the band gap, etc. So hybrid one more accurate for bonds, for geometry especially, and other properties too, but it's slower and more expensive. Yeah, so always you have to choose which one I should I select. So the combined effect of them, so for the quick scan and normal calculation, you can use the PB with double zeta polarized, I mean the GGA and double zeta polarized, or LDA with the double zeta polarized. For the lower scan and high accuracy,
Sir, your voice has broken. You're not audible. Imran sir, you're not audible, sir.
so it's now So for share the screen. Sorry for the disruption, but I mean there is some issue with the internet connectivity. Anyhow, so for that one now we are going to so let me start the hands-on session for the exchange correlation functional and basis set impact on the structure optimization. So let me go first to the uh, folder documents and make there one directory mkdir with the name of fdp underscore 2. Then I will move to the fdp underscore 2 directory. And if I ls here, we didn't anything. So thing is possible, it's okay. Anyone respond?
Yes, sir. Okay, okay.
So now we have here a FDP going.
Imran, sir, your voice has broken, sir. It's not audible. No, there is no voice.
So we basis sets single
Sajal sir. Sajal sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir is asking, Verma sir is asking, can you continue?
Okay, okay. But I have not yet received the material Imran sir was showing. Okay. We are trying to make a folder. This one is the standard FDF file of aluminum nitride. This one is the system name. This one is the system level. These are the number of atoms. Number of atoms is 4. Aluminum and nitrogen. 2 types of species are there. These are the chemical species levels and their atomic numbers. Okay. And this is the lattice constant, lattice parameters. And these are the coordinates of the atoms where the atoms are located. And this one is the basic K grid Monco's pack. And this one is the important thing we are trying to deal. Basically, we have to change this parameter PAO basis size and corresponding exchange correlation functional as well we can change. So first of all, we want to change the basis size. Okay. There are various types of basis size. These are DZ, DZP, SZ, SZP, TZ, and TZP. We shall change the basis size and accordingly we shall try to find out the corresponding energy values. Okay. Hopefully all of you are able to run your first siesta calculation. So I am taking the corresponding PSF files in the directory. First of all, we want to calculate the SZ and corresponding energy value. Okay. Then accordingly, I am trying to save the FDF file. This one is for SZ. Okay. I am creating a folder called SZ. These are the FDF file and the corresponding PSF files. I am double checking that the basis size is SZ or not. I am confirmed that the basis size has been taken as SZ. Now I am trying to run the siesta. Okay. As my system is quite faster, the calculation has been done. I am sending you the FDF file. Please try to unzip the file and try to run this. Since my calculation has been completed, I want to find out the total energy. We want to use the grep command. Actually, we are trying to find out the total energy block, total energy value, total. This one is the total energy value. We are trying to find out the total energy value in the aluminum nitride .out folder. So that we have to use the following command. Since the total energy value remains after this portion, so that I am writing the total equal to within the quotation mark. in the star dot out. Okay, this one is the total energy value. So that we have to write down the total energy value of this, so that I am writing, making another file sz and the corresponding total energy value. Total energy value is this one. Am I clearly audible and my screen is visible? Hello. Hopefully, I am clearly audible. I am in the base folder. I am again making a directory dz. cp start dot psf start dot fdf dz. Now we are at the dz folder, but we have simply copied the previous one, so that we have to edit the aluminum nitride fdf file. This one was sz. Now we want to make it dz. Dear participants, have you completed the run, or I have the file? Have you downloaded the file I have sent in the chat box? I mean the WhatsApp group. Then in the similar manner, we want to run the FDF file. Similar way, I am trying to run the file, and also I want to find out the total energy. This one is the total energy corresponding to dz. We can see that the minimum energy in case of dz is quite lower than the sz. Similarly, we want to make another folder tz. Participants, please inform whether your run is successfully completed or not. Please inform me. Participants can unmute yourself, or you can use the chat box. to make the session more interactive? Participants, Gaurav sir, what about their progress, sir?
Yes, 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 sir. They're doing.
Okay, okay, very nice, very nice. In the similar manner, I am trying to copy the associated files to my TZ directory. We have to edit the FDF file, otherwise it will do the previous calculation. TZ. I'm deleting the previous calculation because it was calculating using SZ only. I'm running again. We can use the grep command to find out the total energy value. For TZ, the total energy value is minus 664.255266. TZ. We can see that for this case also the energy is lower than the previous two cases. We want to make a directory DZP double zeta. Sorry. Uh, Obviously, we shall calculate the DZP as well. Now we want to make first SZP. SZP. We have to copy the files in the concerned folder. For this, we can use this. I mean, we want to copy the concert PSF files and FDF file. Here star means the CP command will copy all the PSF files ending with .psf and FD concerned FDF file to the TZ folder. Okay. Okay. Actually, I want to copy it in the SZP folder. SZP folder. Let's see the SZP. SZP folder contains the aluminum and nitrogen PSF and corresponding participants. Please report your progress. How far have you calculated your dear participants? How long you have calculated? Very nice. You have calculated up to TZ. Now we want to calculate for SZP. The calculation is simple. SZ simple single zeta, DZ double zeta, TZ triple zeta, and corresponding single zeta plus polarization, double zeta plus polarization, and triple zeta plus polarization. And we want to find out the effect of the energy in all these cases. Now we want to edit the aluminum nitride FDF file. Okay. Since we are trying to calculate SZP, so that we have to make change in the basis size as SZP. Okay. Then we must save it as SZP. Done. We can simply take our previous calculation commands that can save our time. Also, we can use the same grep command we have used earlier to find out the total energy. The energy value is minus 666.401 something. This one is the SZP. Okay. Then we have to go to the previous folder. We have to copy the PSF files and the FBF file to the DZP folder. DZP folder. Again, we have to change the FDF file. We can use gedit or any other text editor. As I am using WSL, it is purely terminal based, so that I am using gedit. For DZP, we have to change the DZP. We have to change the basis size block. Okay. Similarly, we can run this MPI run. Since I have 24 processors and I am using 12, I am using this command. You can give your command as per your PC's performance. Use grep command to find out the total energy. DZP. We can clearly see that DZ has lower energy than SZ, TZ has lower energy than DZ, and as polarization is implemented, their energy being more lower, means the system is reaching to the more stable positions. Sorry. We have to again edit the FDF file for TZP. Here we have to use the TZP and use this command for running and it again, as we are doing in the last few cases. Let's check the total energy. In these 6 cases, it is clear that TZP has the lowest energy. Now let's try to plot this. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. Z. I have to save this one. One, two, three, four, five. But where is the sixth one? I think these 2 points are very close for that this creating an issue. Or one, two, see. We can also use Excel or Origin or some other softwares as well. as I was saying earlier, in all these cases we have used GGA PBE, exchange correlation functional, GA exchange correlation functional author, PBE. We can also use LDA and CA for these cases, so that we have to change all these. Okay, now we can also copy the FDF file. Just a minute. Actually, all these calculations has been done using GGA new folder. We are making GGA PBE. Now we want to make calculation for LDA LDA CA. We have to take this FDF file, but we have to download the PSF file for LDA functional. Okay. For this we can use this website, aluminium.psf. For siesta, save link as similarly nitrogen PSF. Nitrogen PSF. Okay. We have this aluminum and nitrogen PSF along with the FDF file. Now we want to make calculation for LDA CA for all the cases shown earlier. We have to copy these files to the SZ folder. Dear participants, please let me know your progress. Please make use of the chat box or unmute yourself to let me know your progress. This point is crucial. since we are trying to calculate the exchange using exchange correlation functional LDA and author type CA, so that we have to change this flag LDA and this one as CA. And since we are dealing with SZ, we have to make sure that this one is SZ. All these are okay. Now save this. MPI run NP. Let's check the total energy for this case. GGA PBE LDA CA SZ DZ TZ SZP DZP and TZ TZP. I am writing all these things first to make the calculation faster. For SZ, the value is, we can clearly see that GGA for GGA PBE and SZ, the energy value is minus 657.57. And for LDACA, SZ, the energy value is minus 640. I want to show another thing for regarding the time taken for this type of calculations. Okay. Now I want to use DZ. DZ SZ DZ TZ. I'm first of all I'm copying all the things. Then I okay. CP DZ is not a directory asset. Okay. I have to make a directory first. mkdir dz. dz szp dzp tzp. Sorry, I have created the folders within this one. Actually, I am not. DZ. Simply cutting these things. In total, we have to make 6 folders: SZ, SZP, DZ, DZP, and TZ, TZP. Tree dot slash SZ. Since tree is not installed, tree or ls also can help us. ls dot slash sz. sz is already completed. Now I want to make szp. szp. এটা রেখে দাও, আমি পরে শুধু sz sz folder is empty, so that it is not showing anything. I want to copy all the things to szp. szp. Then dzp. Then tzp. dz and tz. My sz calculation has been completed, so that I want to make calculation of szp. So that I have to go to the szp folder. cd szp. That command, since we are trying to make comparison of the time taken in all these cases, so I am using the 12 processors in all these cases. Before that, I have to make changes in the FDF file. Okay, let aluminum nitride, and this is SZP. SZP, and this one is LDA CA. Grep total equal to start dot out. The total energy in this case minus 648 dz 648. Then I have to go to the OK. calculated the SZP. Actually, I wanted to. SZP. Okay, for SZP it has been completed, but this one is for SZP. Then DZ. I have to go to the DZ folder. CD DZ. Gedit DZ LDA CA. Okay. Now let's run this. Let's check the total energy. This one is for DZ. Take down in the field of DZ. After that TZ. Go to the TZ folder. Make this SZ to TZ LDA CA. Run this. And check the total energy. So DZ and TZ has closer energies, but TZ has slight lower energy, and SZP has more lower energy. Then we want to calculate for SZP. CD SZP. SZP. Oh, SZP already calculated. DZP. Okay. DZP. LDA CA. Run this. And check the total energy. We are dealing with DZP. So that write down the total energy in the DZP. What about the progress of the participants? Please let me know. Please inform me. Is there any issue? Now let's go to the TZP folder. TZP cd /TZP gedit TZP LDA CA. From this we can see that the TZP has the lowest energy value. Let's make a comparison that for LDA-CA, the total lowest energy is lowest for TZP, and for GGA-PBE, lowest energy is also for TZP. But in comparison to LDA-CA, GGA-PBE has more lower energy value, so that we can make conclusion that GGA-PBE with TZP is the best one. And Dr. Imran has sent a very rigorous and extensive calculations, and we can make changes in the PBE to RPBE and make further calculations as well. And participants, you can uh, let me know about your progress, and if time permits we can make some more calculations as well. Gaurav sir, what about the offline participants?
Uh, they are doing, sir, but I think we have crossed time limit.
Okay.
So if possible, we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Actually, the process is very simple. We have to change the permutation or combination of LDA-CA and GGA-PBE in our FDF file. Simply, we have to make change in the PAO basis size SZ, SZP, SZ, DZ, DZ, TZ, as well as SZP, DZP, TZP. Similarly, for GGAPB, here LDSA or RPBE as well. My dear participants, you can do all the calculations from your end. I have sent the FDF file and the associated PSF file, and hoping for the best from your end. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you, Sajal sir. Thank you very much for
Nice,
continuing session.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, sir, we'll continue tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Verma
Thank you.
sir, please make your
Yeah.
concluding remarks, sir. Please.
No, everything is good.
Very
Actually,
good,
that
sir. Very
this
good,
online,
sir.
this in online process, sometimes we face this type of issue. So this is not big thing. Sometimes that internet issues, networking, and